We're the hub for motorsports. If you love racing, this is the place to be. Collier goes into turn one. Foxy, whoa!
Hey, welcome in everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? We are here. This is Jay and Thomas here in the booth. Tom's got a little mic issue, so I'm going to lead us off here tonight. But we are here with the Nexus Grand Prix Championship Series, round 3 here at Phillip Island. An Aussie track here for the Rumble Down Under. Some of the best iRacers in the business here. IndyCar racing. This is going to be a fantastic night. Tom, is your mic working? How are you doing, man? Ready to broadcast?
It's working like, yes! We're back! Here we are! Alright, look, Jay pretty much covered it here. Phillip Island with the IndyCars here with the Nexus Sim Racing crew. Once again, we're going to be going and having some fun down under here tonight. As,
I like it.
Oh, yes, yes. So, we just got a little bit left in practice here. Let's go real quick into some race info to show you guys what we are going to be experiencing tonight. Phillip Island, race 3 in the Nexus Grand Prix Championships. Track length of 2.74 mile an hour. We got a track temp of, mile an hour, I said, 2.74 miles. 78 degrees, track temp, altitude 157 feet. Got ambient temp of 65 degrees, 59% humidity, cloudy skies, and a 13 mile an hour wind. This is some open setup IndyCar racing, 12-turn course, 2 hairpins, and 3 sweepers. Pace car speed of 60 mile an hour, pit road speed of 45 miles an hour, and one quick repair tonight, so everybody's going to get the opportunity, if they have a little bit of trouble, to come back out here and have some more fun. So, with that being said, we're going straight into qualifying now. We got a couple guys on track. The first one, though, James Pierce, hitting the track here early, trying to get that number 1 qualified here tonight. Jay, though, let's talk a little bit about this track. This track is absolutely prestigious. One of the best racetracks you can go to in Australia when it comes to the legendary finishes, the legendary races that we've seen here in the V8 supercars.
Yes, this track puts on a fantastic show in the V8 supercars back in the day. Also, pre-race, talking to a lot of these drivers, this track is an absolute road grader. We're going to see lots of strategy tonight. There's some guys talking about maybe 2 stopping it, maybe 3 stopping it. Shoot, I even heard a 4-stop strategy get thrown out there for a little while. So it's going to be interesting. We got 2 different tire compounds with the primaries and the alternates. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys plan. There could be maybe run the reds early, run maybe double stop with the blacks, maybe reverse that, maybe, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the strategy, but this is going to be a fantastic race, a real intricate course. We've got a couple really tough hairpins to get through in turn 4 and 10, and then a couple big sweeper turns, 1 major straightaway down to the Gardner Straight on the front stretch. It's going to be a fun race, really fun race, and James Pierce on track now, hitting his qualifying time. Your winner, round 1 there at Sebring.
Yes, absolutely. His first lap is complete. His out lap. His first lap is now. He had a couple of purples waiting for him during his out lap. So already got a little bit of speed here for the number 1 IndyCar, James Pierce. You see him getting a little off track there. That might count against him. We'll see as he gets closer to the start-finish line, though. He's about 3/4 of the way through the track. We'll try to pull up the see, track map. Where? Well, anyways, he's rounding the final corner now, coming to the start-finish line. Let's see what James can do here. As you can see at the bottom, he's purple. Maybe gonna hit that purple again. He does, as he goes to the top of the leaderboard with a 112.7, which is blazing fast, if you ask me. As Jeff Webker now comes across start-finish line with a 114.83. Let's go to Corey Kobe now, as he's coming to the end of the race course now, coming into the final corners. Let's see what he can do now coming to the start-finish line.
Yeah, he's running a really good lap so far. Interesting strategy, though. He's on the primary tires here in qualifying. We see James Pearson and Jeff Webker there on the alternate tires. Interesting strategy. We're already seeing it being played here in qualifying, but here comes Kobe. Let's see what he does here this time at the line.
A P4 for Corey Kobe. Now Jordan Whiting going P2 with a 113.78. A great lap for him so far. Jeff Webker is going to come back around. Stephen Downton, though, he is closer to the start-finish line, rounding the final corner now to come down the front straightaway, taking his first time lap, hopefully, as he comes across the start-finish line. Let's see what Steven can do here. And he does not get a time in. Maybe had a little bit of an off track there, where he won't be able to get a time in for himself. Now Jeff Webker coming across start-finish line. Let's see if he can improve on that P5 position. And he does improve his time, but not enough to get up to Takesha Kita. As Kita now is in P4. Webker coming off the track now. Let's go ahead and go to our closest one to the start-finish line. That's Jordan Whiting on his last lap in qualifying.
Yeah, Jordan Whiting sitting P2 right now. Oh, he stops on the track. Interesting. This is going to be Swindell here coming across the line here to put down another time. He's currently P3 with a 113.817. Let's see if he improves this time by. Does not look like he improved his lap time here.
Yeah, he did not. Takeshi Kita now back out on track. Does not improve his lap time that time by. Let's go Travis Smith. Travis Smith goes up on the board with a 115.24, currently P7 at the moment. Blake Nave now coming off the final corner to try to get his final qualifying lap in. Let's see what he can do here. P5 for Blake Nave.
Nice lap there by Blake Nave. Had a really interesting race here yesterday. Let's see if he can rebound here tonight. Here's Drew Hopkins in number 15. He's going to be coming across the line this time to put down a time. Currently sitting, has not put a time together yet. This will be his first time to lap here. I do not see him on the board. Oh, there he goes. There he is, I believe. No, I'm still mistaken. That looks like Capone put down a lap time.
All right, Richard Swindell now coming off of the final corners here. Let's see what he can do as he tries to garner up a good run in qualifying. Currently P3 with a 1:13.87 as he comes across the start-finish line. Let's see, he does not improve on that lap time. Jordan Whiting, the next one up. Let's see what he can do.
Jordan Whiting, here he is. Came 8/100ths of a second short at Auto Club last week. Currently sitting P2. Let's see if he can improve. Does he go to the top of the board here in qualifying? Does not look like he improves. Still digging though. Heading into turn 1 now.
As now we've got Steven Downton rounding the final corner. Has a 1:16.47 up on the board right now. Let's see if he can improve on that. Steven does not improve. As you can see down on the bottom left, yellows for all sectors there. Not going to be able to improve. As now Kevin Whalen is coming off the final corner in that number 42. Drew Hopkins goes to P2 on the board. Let's see what Kevin Whalen can do.
Here comes Kevin Whalen across the line. Let's see if he can improve. Currently sitting at P9. Does not look like he improves. Still sitting at the P9 position here with a 1:14.393. Is he's going to keep digging?
James Pierce now coming off the final corner, already on top of the board. Let's see if he can improve that time. Excuse me, he's just now taking his first lap for this second half of the qualifying run. Takeshi Kita now coming through the final corners. Ready to put on a lap time better than a 1:13.99. As here he comes to the start-finish line.
Yeah, off at turn 12 now. Get a big run here off at turn 12. One of the major sweeper turns here on this course. Get across the line. And it looks like he's going to not improve. He's actually going to drop down to P6 here because I believe Wubker just moved up to a P4 position. Unbelievable.
All right, Drew Hopkins once again. He's going to come off the final corner. Jordan Whiting just bested his P2 position, so he's coming back with a little bit of a vengeance here now. Across the start-finish line he goes. Let's see if he can improve here. He does not with a 1:13.76. Last time by for the 15. His qualifying run is over. Let's go to the next one. Blake Nave goes P5. As now Javon Thompson, your last week's winner, gonna come across the start-finish line. Let's see what he can do to put this number 93 up on the board. A P12 for Javon with a 1:16.11.
Yes, carrying the momentum from last week with a dominant performance. Here he is into turn 2. This corner, the Southern Loop, is going to be a fun corner all night long. As much speed as you carry through there. So he's continuing on here in his qualifying time now as he's headed for turn 3. See if he can improve. That was lap 1, currently P12.
Using as much curb as he can through these really tight corners. Oh, he gets real sideways and loose for Javon. That lap is going to have to get scrapped for himself. As now we got Steven Ritters with that incredible Sebring comeback that he had. He's going to come out here to Phillip Island with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's going to try to finally get a good start in this race and try to finish on top. He's going to try to take it to James Pierce here tonight off the final corner. And here comes Steven to the start-finish line and across it. Let's see what he can do. A 1:14.04 for Steven. That currently puts him P8 at the moment. And he is going to stop on track. And he might be content with that. Brad Haldane is next.
Yeah, here comes Brad Haldane to complete his lap, I believe, this time by. One thing I wanted to mention though real quick was that lap there by Ritters. Okay, never mind, it switched to alternates. I was about to say he was on the primaries with a 1:14. That was an impressive lap. That was unbelievable. But here comes Brad Haldane in that beautiful green IndyCar here, trying to make a lap time here off of turn 12 to complete this lap. Let's see if he can get himself towards the front of the board here.
A P11 for Brad Haldane with a 1:14.52. As he's now going through corners 1. Let's go to our next car here. Oh, well, it was going to be James Pierce, but he loses it. In the final corners of this lap, Javon Thompson going to be the next one here. This is his out lap, so he's not going to get a lap time here. So we'll go to the next one. which it seems to be Steven Ritter's. Once again, you can see him taking those primary tires. He's going to be on an outlap as well. Everybody on track right now currently on an outlap. So nobody going to be able to put up a time at the moment. But Steven Ritter's looking to be like he's going to try to put in a quick lap here tonight. Not a lot left here in qualifying. Just about 4 minutes left. And only a couple drivers have that room to go ahead and try another lap here. Coming off the final corner, Steven Ritter's.
Here comes Steven Ritter's. Currently sitting P8 here. Let's see if he can improve his time with a 1:14.039. Let's see if he improves. It does not look like he improves here in qualifying, but he's still digging. I think he might have a chance to get one more lap in here as we see Tyler Curione making his debut here in the 22 IndyCar. He's on track now.
Yes, he is. Tyler, part of the Backmarkers Racing Leagues, thought he'd come out and try some Nexus racing. He's coming off the final corner, grabbing a little bit of grass there. Coming across the start-finish line now to start his qualifying run. Tyler, let's see what he can do tonight here at Phillip Island. As the next one to complete a lap right now, though, Javon Thompson, coming off the final corner now in that number 93. He's going to try to improve on his P14 position. 1:16.11 on the board. He puts down a 1:15.5. Puts himself P14 still. And we'll go to the next one. Steven Ritter's coming through the final corners.
Here comes Steven Ritter, still currently sitting in that P8 position. Definitely a guy to watch here tonight. We're going to see if he can put down a lap time to go to the top of the board. Can he challenge James Pierce's lap time? Looks like he has a green sector in sector 2. He's going to cross the line. And
ooh,
he goes P2 with a 1:13.1. Unbelievable.
Great drive there by the 99. As we've got one out on track. We'll go to the next one now, which is Javon. It's going down the back part of this as he's now losing it into the wall. Almost ate it like Durrani did in Sebring.
Yes.
All right, coming across the start-finish line for Tyler. Let's see if he can put up a lap time. He does not. Maybe a little bit of an off track for himself as he finds himself going through turns 1, 2, and 3. Brad Haldane going to be the next car to come across the start-finish line. Brad, though, currently P11, but look at the tire he's using. He's using the primary.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was super impressed with Nicholas Pressey with his lap time. And then Brad Haldane goes a half a second faster on the primary. This is strategy already being played here in qualifying. What an impressive lap Brad Haldane puts down with the primary tire. Now here he is off of turn 12 now. Let's see if he can improve. Still on this primary tire.
All right, coming across start-finish line for Brad. Let's see what he can do here. Last time by, he does improve a little bit, but not enough to improve his position. A P11 for Brad Haldane. He will start, or possibly start, in that position if Tyler Curione can come around the track here and get a decent lap in. Let's see what Tyler can do now coming through the final corners.
Yeah, here he comes. I believe this is off of turn 12 now. Yes, it is. He's off of turn 12. He's going to see if he can put down a lap time here tonight, put himself up higher on the grid. And there it is, P17 with a 1:18.741 here for Tyler.
Tyler's still got a couple more laps to put in here. Try to improve on his position. Maybe get a little bit more heat in those tires. See if he can get a little bit more grip going through these next set of real slow, real technical turns here. So you can see another hairpin to go around here. Real slow as he goes around. Keeps it, real loose there off of the second hairpin. And, yeah, let's see if he can keep it straight here and rounding up some of his final laps here. He's got one more lap after this, so let's see if Tyler can improve.
Yeah, he's going through turn 9 now. This is a very narrow racetrack, if you could see on the lap that he's making. It's pretty crazy. Oh, that was qualifying. There it is. James Pierce on pole.
All right, James Pierce once again finding himself at the top in that number 1 MG or Mini John MG Mini IndyCar. So, we've got a little bit of action on track. I'd like to bring down, let's see if we can get him, James Pierce first. Let's talk to him a little bit. James, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, congratulations on your pole for tonight. But look, we've heard talkings around the whole paddock here. This track likes to eat up a little bit of tires. Is that what you're experiencing here tonight?
Not as probably as bad as everybody's saying it is. As long as you don't over push them and make sure you're slipping, you're slipping the tires effectively and not over slipping them. It shouldn't be too much more of a tire eater track than anything else we go on the calendar. So as long as you're smart, smooth, and consistent, it shouldn't be too bad today.
Well, once again, we're going to be experiencing a standing start. How confident are you in that? Do you feel like you can hold Steven Ritters behind you?
Haven't done one since the Sebring was the first one in like 2 years since I stopped competing in this car. So hopefully it's as good as that one, because that one seemed to work out somehow.
Awesome, awesome. Well, look, congratulations on your pole. I'm going to hand you off to Jay here. He might have a couple questions for you, but congratulations and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, James. Maybe, without giving away too much, maybe some people are listening, but what's your strategy for tonight? I've heard maybe bluffs or rumors. We might see 2, 3, 4 stop strategies. What are you thinking? What's your strategy?
No clue, brother.
I like it. I like it.
I just logged into the race, did 4 laps total, and I'm pitting whenever the fuel goes low.
That was the exact answer I was looking for there. Head forward, full action. Is anybody you want to thank for your pole time here tonight?
The new wheel. It seems to be working a little bit better after I've configured it, so I'll give it to that. I'm petting the good old boy right now. It's doing me wonders.
Heck
well,
yeah. Alrighty, man. Congratulations on your pole, and good luck here tonight.
Thank you, brother. Headstrong, as Trap said.
As Trap said, that's right. All right. Congratulations, James, and good luck.
Thank you, brothers.
All right. One other person I'd like to bring down, Jay, is actually Brad Haldane. He's the highest qualifier of primary tires. Let's talk to him a little bit about his strategy. Brad, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How's it going, boys?
Great, great. Look, you actually had a very good qualifying, and whether you were up in the top 5 or not, you were the first driver with primary tires to qualify ahead of everybody else with primary tires. So, look, you've got some speed in that 39 machine. We just got done talking to James Pierce about a little bit of strategies. It's going to be a lot different with the people who are starting on alternates than the primary. So what is your strategy going into this race?
I was thinking about starting on blacks, maybe going long a little bit. Sneak in a red set just in the middle, and then to try and catch back up when everyone else is obviously going to be on the black tires on the primaries. And I'll take an alternate set kind of right in the middle, and then hopefully try and finish it off with hopefully not a long, but a long primary set at the end.
Yes, absolutely. And we also heard a little bit of talkings about maybe a 2-stop, maybe a 3-stop, and possibly even a 4-stop. What is your strategy going into this? Are you even thinking about that, or are you confident in the starts of these races, because we are doing a standing start?
Well, that kind of leads into it, and just kind of making sure to get through everything. Have a little bit of tire wear at the end when everyone's gonna drop off, because these alternates do not last very long at all. Maybe at most 10 laps, maybe 12 if you baby it a little bit, but. I'm just kind of hoping everything goes good off the start, and then I can gain some. I'm going to lose some ground at the start, but hopefully gain it right there in the middle. I'm thinking 2-stop, but I'm not opposed to switching to a quick plan B of a 3-stop if timing wise it might work out, and throw on a set of alternates at the end there with low fuel, and maybe putting down a few qualifying laps at the end and try and pick off a couple of guys.
Absolutely. Well, look, I'm going to hand you off to Jay real quick as we wrap up this warm-up session. But congratulations on your qualifying effort. Jay, take it away.
Yes, Brad, you touched on exactly what I was going to ask you, so I just want to say I was impressed by your lap here on the primary tire, and good luck here tonight.
Did everybody go on alternates?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you were the first on primary. Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Good luck, Brad, and we will hopefully see you after the race.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now let's go through our starting lineup here tonight at Phillip Island. Where's it? There it is. All right, on pole tonight, James Pierce in the John Cooper Mini #1 with Steven Ritters on the outside of him in the Team McLaren.
Starting P3, that's Jordan Whiting in the number 24 with Drew Hopkins in the 15 in the BMW Racing Team. Starting P4.
Jeff Wupker in his IndyCar Chevrolet in the number 92, starting P5 with Blake Nave on the outside of him in the Toyota Racing Development
Kia Motors with Takeshi Kita in the number 64.
Cameron Capone in the number 7 with the McLaren Racing Group starting P9 with Kevin Whalen in number 42. Army Chevrolet starting P10.
Starting P11, that's Bad Brad Haldane in number 39. Imperial Dodge with Nicholas Pressey in the 94. Nissan rounding out your top 12 starters here in the Rumble Down Under.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got these cars set up, ready to go. We'll try to get you a good show on the start here as everybody starts to get lined up, ready to go here tonight. Let's go to our starter cam. Oh, yeah, that's a great pick right there. All right. We're going to wait
race picks here, Tom.
Oh, hey, yeah, of course. I'm going to go with Steven Ritters here tonight. Look, he's got on a redemption tour now. Hopefully you get a good start and win this race.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this one simple. I think I'm going to go Jordan Whiting here tonight. He's going to redeem himself one spot better here tonight at the Rumble Down Under.
All right, there you guys go. Drivers to look out for tonight. Definitely one to look out for, though. James Pierce, extremely fast. Drew Hopkins, extremely fast as well. Blake Nave, we've seen in other series as well. In fact, we just saw him race to a podium position last night. And hopefully he can do that again tonight. All the drivers on the grid now. And we're about to take the green flag. All right, lights are up. And we will wait for these guys to get the green flag here at Phillip Island. Green flag is out in the air, and everybody's seeming to get a great start. Oh, we got a little bit of troubles back here. 4 wide in the back, as now we're going back to the front. James Pierce getting a terrible start here. Steven Ritters to the point with Drew Hopkins now battling James Pierce going into turn 2.
Into turn 2, look at the start by Hopkins. He gets by James Pierce. Now here comes Whiting to the inside. Whiting's moving up. Oh, Hopkins is off the track. Oh, big news here is now you see Whiting move up to P2. James Pierce is going to follow him in here to P3.
Now coming into this hairpin real slow, Jordan Whiting is going to have to get all the way back there. We got a little bit of wreck happening in the back. Look at this. Richard Swindell, Jeff Wubker, and I think that was Nick Pressey. It is Nick Pressey missing a front wing there now. Lots of damage to these guys as they're going to have to come down pit road and get that fixed. But going back up to the front, Steven Ritters now has opened up almost a 1.5-second lead to second place of James Pierce, who started on pole tonight, now coming through this really slow hairpin once again, and a caution comes out.
Yeah, there was a lot of debris, a lot of cars scattered there. Oh, it was Hopkins was involved as well. He's missing the right front wing on that race car. Crazy start, turn of events here at Phillip Island. What a way to start a race. Unbelievable.
All right, let's see what happened here to Drew Hopkins as he goes side by side with Whiting there. Just gets loose, grabs a little bit of grass there. Oh, makes contact with that inner berm there. Loses a front wing.
Was that Travis Smith that just snuck through there to P4? He started P13 on the grid.
Yes.
He's up to P4. Unbelievable start here by Travis Smith. I'm sorry, Ty, to interrupt you there. I was just surprised what I saw there.
Well, look, I mean, plus 9 positions, and we didn't even complete a full lap. That's taking advantage of the situation there. And not only Travis Smith, Corey Kobe is up 9 positions as well since the start of this race.
Unbelievable start to this race. The parity already being played out. Unbelievable. And Travis Smith is on those primary tires, which makes that even more intriguing. He took a different strategy here at the beginning of this race, and now here he is at P4. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, exactly. Wow. on the primary tires, finding himself in P4 up front here on a completely different strategy than the people around him. Let's go real quick through the field. Corey Kobe on primaries as well. Javon Thompson on primaries. Let's see if anybody else here. There's Nick Pressey, Brad Haldane on primaries as they continue to go around the track here. Tyler Curione back here waiting for everybody else to grab a little bit of trouble. On that alternate strategy, though, Blake Nave all the way back here, catching up to the pack now. But back up front here, are we seeing lights out on pace car? No, we are not. We're going to go around one more time, and we'll see these guys get ready for a restart. Remember, single file restarts here with the IndyCar Series, the Nexus Grand Prix Championships. But Jay, how about that first lap?
Unbelievable. There was a lot going on there. We had a battle for the lead. James Pierce didn't get the start he wanted. Raiders got shot out of a cannon. And then we saw Hopkins run off track. Jordan Whiting mixing it up there. Unbelievable. A little bit of carnage in the back, which is expected. I was just saying this right towards the end of qualifying. This track is extremely narrow. You got to be real precise, make the moves when you have an opportunity. And I believe that's what we kind of saw. It's a big field here. But here comes some strategy calls early. You see Pressey missing the wing coming up pit lane. I believe this is the 62 of, I believe that's Waylon, if I'm not mistaken. No, 42 is Waylon. 62 of Swindell, excuse me, making a pit stop. Is that Javon Thompson as well? Lots of pit stops here early here, Tom.
Yes, absolutely. Drew Hopkins coming down pit road. One of the front guys coming down to get that front wing changed. Let's see, Nick Pressey still on pit road here. May have possibly had to take a quick repair as he had a lot of damage to that vehicle. Maybe a little bit of floor damage. Maybe he didn't take his quick repair and just fix the front wing. It looks like he does have a pretty clean car, though, as we'll see Nick Pressey get back on track. We'll see how well that number 94 machine does here on track on this restart. The performance of that vehicle might be slightly hindered, or maybe not. But the lights are still on the pace car. We're going to go around at least one more time before we see these guys hit the green flag. But a lot to break down there. Like you said, James not getting a good restart there. Nothing like what we saw out of Sebring when James shot out of a cannon there on the start of the race. And Steven Ritter's having issues. Now it's kind of reversed. Steven Ritter's with the cannonball. James Pierce having a little bit of issues there. He does find himself back in P2 after battling a little bit with Jordan Whiting and Drew Hopkins. But I think the real story right now is that number 69 of Travis Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Brad Haldane, when we interviewed him with the post qualifying interview, he said he's going to take it easy here at the beginning. He's on those primary tires. So it doesn't really surprise me that he didn't move up too far through the grid there, kind of just survived that first lap was what his strategy was. But Travis Smith making big moves here. And then also, you guys got to keep your eyes on Wubker, Hopkins, Swindell. These guys, they came down and got tires, putting a little bit of a wrench in the strategy here early. Maybe top it off with a little bit of fuel here, maybe. See if they can stretch this out. This is why I love IndyCar racing, Tom. We've already got strategy being played out. It started from the beginning of qualifying.
Yes, absolutely. Now, though, we've got a lot of racing ahead of us. We got 60 laps planned out here. Lap 3 about to be completed with our first caution of the night. Maybe the only caution, as we see a little bit of a stack up here between other drivers as everybody bunching up here to go. And it looks like we are going green flag. Steven Ritter's now green flag out in the air. That's a little bit different. We saw lights on the pace car, but we're going green flag anyways, as now they come into turn 1. James Pierce chasing Steven Ritter's now, and he's closing that gap just a little bit here. He dives it on deep into turn 2. Look how much ground he has made up here. Coming off of turn 2 now, coming down one of the back straightaways, as now he's losing a little bit of time to Steven, but Jordan Whiting hot on the tail of James Pierce.
Yeah, here we head for turn 4. The hairpin is look at Whiting trying to make it happen on the outside. He's going to get a pretty good run here. Follow James Pierce off at turn 4. Headed for turn 5. This left-hander, as we see a little bit of elevation change. We're going to be climbing uphill off of 5 as we see these guys pretty much even gaps in between them, setting up for their next best passing opportunity, which is going to be turn 10, the next hairpin.
All right, these guys coming into the next hairpin here. James Pierce trying to capitalize on the braking zones. Look how much ground he makes up there in this final hairpin of the course. Coming through the last corners here. Steven Ritters, though, that exit speed on that number 99 Aero McLaren coming off the final corner is just unmatched right now, as James Pierce cannot match it. James Pierce, though, making up a lot of time under the braking zones as they're coming down the front straightaway across the start-finish line. We're going to watch this number 1 car come into turn 1 and into turn 2. See if he can make up any ground here to the 99 of Steven Ritters, as he does. Look how much ground he makes up there. And Jordan Whiting struggling a little bit behind the number 1 car. Maybe a little bit of dirty air there. But these guys are going to be duking it out here for the lead of this race for the coming laps.
Yeah, this is, if I'm Ritters, this is the last guy I want to see in my rearview mirror is James Pierce. So consistent, always hitting his marks, making fast lap times. As here we go around turn 5 now, as we're going to climb uphill, headed for 6, 7, 8 with a little bit of a dog leg-esque corner here in turn 8. As James Pierce is closing this gap down, he's got down to 0.3 of a second, couple car legs. Maybe have an opportunity to make a lunge if he can get close enough here to turn 10. He's got a great run here, closing this gap down as we're headed for turn 10.
All right, now coming through the final corner, Steven Ritter's going to have to go on a little bit of a defensive, but look at this. He's opening up that gap now back to a half a second. Now coming through the final corner and down the front straightaway, maybe a little bit of a push to pass by James Pierce, or maybe he's just grabbing a lot of draft. Look how much time he's making up here. He's already gained a 10th on the front straightaway. Now coming down into turn 1, James Pierce is going to continue to ride that draft all the way down to turn 2. Oh, the 99 locked up a little bit on the right front. Here comes James Pierce. Oh, he's all over his rear bumper now, coming off of turn 2 and into turn 3.
Yeah, he's really close now. He's maybe close enough to make a move here into turn 4. It looks like he's not going to be close enough. It looks like Ritter's going to be a little aggressive, but James is aggressive with the brakes here. Unbelievable, the amount of ground he gains here through 4. He's going to try and get back on the throttle, but so does Ritters. Ritters did a fantastic job here around turn 5 and 6 now. Is James Pierce staying in touch here with Ritters, not letting him get too far away up the road.
Now coming into 8 and 9, I apologize there, but look, now coming into the final hairpin of this course, and the number 1 car going to come back up to the rear bumper of the 99, but the 99 is going to get a great exit, now coming into the final corners of this course, and coming back on to the front straightaway. Remember last time, Ritters had this gap up to a half a second, now it's 0.48. Now coming down the front straightaway, that number 1 car going to grab a lot of draft here, going to try to get back to the rear bumper of the 99 as they come down into turn 1. As you can see, James Pierce already got it down to a quarter of a second, all the way down almost to a 10th of a second. The 99 gets wide. The 1 car trying to shove his nose to the inside, not going to happen. Now down into turn 3.
Yeah, James Pierce super aggressive on the brakes. That's his advantage, is getting heavy on the brakes into these braking zones. As here we are into turn 4. This is where he made up a lot of time last time by. He's going to try and stay even here with Ritters off of turn 4, headed for turn 5. We got a little bit of lap traffic up here in front of these boys. Could this come into play here, as Ritters is so good through these sweeping corners, carrying the momentum off the corner, but James Pierce still hounding him. Here he goes, he's got to run. Maybe look into the outside here as we head for turn 9. This is going to be side-by-side action here as Ritters is to the outside. Here goes James Pierce.
Now down to the hairpin. The 99 gives up that position to James Pierce, and now James Pierce leading this race ever since losing it on the start of this race. Pole position back to the top for James Pierce, as now he's going to get a little bit of lap traffic action. That's Stephen Downton in the 09. James Pierce trying to grab that draft from the 09. Now going down into turn 1. The 1 car going to try to look to the inside of Steven. Whoa! They made contact there. Stephen Downton's around, but the 1 car continues to go by. Stephen Downton in the middle of the grass. Rear wing is broken as he tries to get back on track here, and I'm gonna have to come back down pit road to fix that rear wing. Steven Ritter's now losing a lot of time to James Pierce. Last time by James Pierce was 1 second quicker, as Steven Ritter's now chasing the 1 car, as that gap now has decreased to about, well, it's about a half second now. Look at Ritter's go, though. The exit speed of that 99, unmatched.
Yeah, these guys are digging here early. I don't think there's much tire safe going on right now, Tom, on these alternate tires, the reds. These guys are digging, swapping the lead back and forth. Ritter's now playing a little bit of that chase mode now, being aggressive on the brakes by James Pierce. So James Pierce leads the way here. But look at Whiting. He's also staying in touch with these boys. He's only about a second and a half back from your second place runner of Ritters, as Ritters are going to continue here off of turn 12, maybe stay in the toe here of James Pierce. James Pierce doesn't look like he has any damage from that contact with Steven Doughton last time by. Can it continue here in the lead as Ritters maybe aggressive on the brakes here into turn 1?
Ritter's making a lot of ground up here in turn 1, all the way to the rear bumper of the number 1 Indy car as they come through turns 1 and go into turn 2. Let's go to your closest battle on track, though, right now. That's Travis Smith on those primaries, Kevin Whalen and Takesha Kita, those alternates chasing after the primary. Jay, look, we're looking at completing lap 9 this time by, and those alternates, they've got to be taking a beating now, and Travis Smith going to try to make something happen. Oh, he locks up. Here comes Kevin Whalen to the inside, trying to make something happen. Can't make it happen. Oh, he's coming back to the inside. A side-by-side battle now for P4.
Yes, side-by-side action there, but it looks like Travis Smith still holding on with these primary tires. Whalen has got to be thinking, I got to get by this guy as quick as I can. He can go longer than I can on this stint, and I am abusing my tires. It's Takeshi Kita right to the rear bumper of Whalen. Oh, is he sideways? Does he save it? No! There goes Takesha.
Oh, no!
Now Dane makes contact. Oh, no! Major contact. Is now Swindell's going to go by.
Brad Haldane sustaining a lot of damage, and that wrecked up right front is gone. It has checked out, and it is going to be needing a lot of repairs to get that number 39 back on track and competitive, as the 39 now goes around to Kita, coming down pit road now to try and get repairs on that number 39. Now, though, let's go to one of our other closer battles on track. It's still Travis Smith and Kevin Whalen now coming off of turn 2 down into turn 3.
Yeah, as these guys continue to battle, look at Hopkins. He just made that pit stop on that last caution. He's up here to P6. He's lurking here in the background as Travis Smith, being an absolute amazing drive right now he's putting together on these primary tires, still holding on here in a P4. This race is shaping up in a perfect way for him. I don't think you could have scripted any better here for Travis Smith to start this race as he's holding back these alternate tires. Unbelievable job he's doing as he's opening this gap to Whalen, as it maybe those alternate tires are going away a little bit here for that 42.
Now coming into the final hairpin and into the final quarters, it gets real loose there. That's going to make an opportunity for Kevin Whalen. Now 3/10 behind Travis Smith. It's a great position to be in. Now coming down the front straightaway as the 42 is going to get a little bit of a draft help from the 69 coming down the front straightaway. As you can see him closing that gap just a little bit here. Now going into turn 1, we're going to watch Travis Smith take this next corner almost wide open here as he goes into turn 2. Now hard on the brakes and trying to get that left turn action back into this Indy car as we witnessed last week at Auto Club. Travis Smith still holding on strong in that P4 position as Kevin Whalen continues to chase him.
Yes, he's continuing here. He's going to be heading for turn 4. This is the little hairpin. As you see Whalen get real aggressive on the brakes, trying to get the maximum life out of these alternates. As he's sideways, here comes Hopkins. Can Hopkins pounce on this? Hopkins is lurking back here. This guy's on an alternate strategy. Maybe working out for him too, getting through the traffic. As he's closing up here to the rear bumper of Whalen. He's also on those primary tires. This is crazy. The primary tires are showing life and speed right now as Whalen on those alternates maybe going away as Hopkins. He's closing this gap down. Here we go into this next hairpin, turn 10. Here comes Hopkins.
Hopkins looking all over the rear bumper of the 42 now. He's going to look to the outside, to the inside. No, he's not going to be able to do it. In the last corner, though, he's going to get a huge draft off of the 42 down the front straightaway. Let's see what he takes with it here. He's to the rear bumper. He's making a move to the inside now. Going to go into turn 1 in the preferred lane to Drew Hopkins as he goes to the inside. The 42 is going to fight back just a little bit, but relents the position. Drew Hopkins now in a top 5 position.
Wow, what a pass there by Hopkins. Super brave. A lot of respect by those two racers going wheel to wheel into turn 1. That's a tough corner as he's going to be setting up here for this turn 4 hairpin, the Miller corner, trying to make something happen on the brakes as he's closing this gap to Travis Smith now. What a drive that Hopkins is putting together. Oh, he loses a little bit of time on X. A little bit of wheel spin here as we're heading up the uphill section now, going through the 6, 7, 8, 9 complex.
All right. Drew Hopkins on that alternate strategy. He had primaries to start this race, puts primaries on it. And alternates to primaries, sorry. As Drew Hopkins now coming through the last hairpin of this course. He is making up a little bit of time to Travis Smith as we have a little bit of an on-track incident here involving Tyler Curion. Oh, look at that! Kevin Whalen off track here. He's going to lose another position. Jeff Webker goes by him now as Kevin Whalen does come back out on track and is racing once again. Travis Smith, though, he's going to be coming under attack, but your closest battle on track right now, it's James Pierce and Steven Ritters.
These two guys have been going at each other all race long. James Pierce will lead a while, then Ritters, then James Pierce again. Now Ritters is hounding him again, trying to get back to the front of this field. Both on the same strategy right now. They've made these alternate tires last 13 laps. Unbelievable. We heard maybe 12 would be the most you could get out of these things. And here they are, just digging as we're continuing here through the course. Ritter's got this gap down underneath half a second now. Couple car lengths as he's so good through these sweepers. Gets a great run here off the sweeper, headed for turn 10 hairpin. This is where James Pierce is good. Heavy on the brakes again. Builds a little bit of a gap as now you're going to see Ritters lose some time here, 0.7 of a second as we're going off of turn 11 and 12 now, headed for the front stretch.
Oh, he's coming to pits. Here we go. This is the lead pack now coming down pit road. Steven Ritters, Jordan Whiting coming down pit road as well in the number 24. Let's see what Travis Smith does. We fully expect him to stay out. He does. Drew Hopkins as well. Jeff Webker is also staying out. Kevin Whalen, let's see what Kevin does here. He's going to stay out. Richard Swindell stays out. Javon Thompson is your next card with an opportunity to pit, but he's got primaries as Steven Ritters and Jordan Whiting now going to be coming off of pit road. Primaries on for Steven Ritters as he comes back out on the track on the front straightaway, ready to get back into the action. James Pierce, though, leading this field through the third hairpin, and coming into the 6, 7, 8 complex.
Yeah, you can't imagine that James Pierce is going to stay out on this track much longer. He's got the undercut with Ritters behind him. They've got to think these tires have got to be at the end of their life. But knowing James Pierce, he's got a different strategy in mind here tonight. Going through turn 10 now. He's going to be heading for 11. Let's see if he hits pit road this time by, or if he continues on this strategy. Here it is. He's going to forgo pits again. Here he is, still making the life on these alternate tires work for him.
All right, well, that's a bold strategy. Let's see if it works out for him. We'll go to our closest battle on track right now, which is once again between Travis Smith and Drew Hopkins, both on the primary tires, as Travis Smith did start on primaries. Drew Hopkins switching over to primaries after the first caution there, as now these guys are going to be duking it out going into turn 1. Drew Hopkins with a little bit of a draft here, as you can see him inching closer to the rear bumper of the 69 coming through turn 1. Look, he might make a move here to the inside. No, the 69 goes on a little bit of a defensive there, and the 15 thinks better of it. Drew Hopkins still stuck behind Travis Smith. Oh, he's real loose.
Oh, a little bit of tire spin there by the 69 of Travis Smith, but here comes Hopkins. Is he close enough to make a launch here into turn 4? Into the hairpin to the outside. He's going to have inside leverage here. He's going to take it to the fight to Travis Smith. But Travis Smith is still hanging it on his door there. He's not going to be able to make it happen. Here comes Hopkins. He's going to make that pass up the P4. Wow, this the primary tire strategy is working out in an interesting way here early, as there was a P2 position there for Hopkins.
Yeah, a great run by Hopkins. Let's see now if James Pierce comes down pit road. He does not. He's going to go around once again here at Phillip Island. 15 laps so far on those tires as he's coming down the front straightaway. Drew Hopkins now coming through the final corners. He's still got a little bit of Travis Smith on his tail, but Travis Smith losing a little bit of steam there. That's Tyler Curion, who is had a little bit of off-track excursion there through the final corners. As you can see now, Travis Smith coming around that number 22 machine, coming across the start-finish line, down into turn 1. Right now, though, Drew Hopkins and Travis Smith, your closest battle on track. Kevin Whalen down pit road.
Here comes Kevin Whalen. He was on those alternates as well. We saw him lose touch with Travis Smith and with the 15 of Hopkins. So now here he is bailing on this strategy. Gonna maybe put on the primaries and run this next stint of the race, as he has been doing a fantastic job since the beginning of this race. Also, Wubker, he's on an alternate tire strategy as well. He pitted with Hopkins, but instead of going for the primary, he went for the alternate. He's still digging on racetrack, kind of on the same strategy as your race leader, James Pierce.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff Webker currently P4 at the moment. Steven Ritter's the fastest car on track right now. Or excuse me, Jordan Whiting, the fastest car on track at 114.53 last time by for the number 24 machine, as he is trying to catch back up to Steven Ritter's on those primaries. Steven Ritter also on primaries, as James Pierce forgoes another chance to come down pit road. James Pierce coming with maybe a little bit of strategy there. Steven Ritter is electing to come down a little early, put some primaries on, get a little bit of speed out of that number 99 machine. This is going to get interesting, Jay, as we see Richard Swindell now down pit road.
Yeah, here comes Swindell to make his pit stop. He was also on that pit strategy with Hopkins and Wubker as well. He's currently running the alternate tire, so I would assume he's going to go throw on the primaries as well. So he's on the same strategy as Wubker. They both came in early, put on those alternates. Now, let's see if he can put on the primaries and make another stint. But James Pierce, in his interview, he didn't give away a whole lot with the strategy, but he wasn't too concerned with the tire wear. Interesting stuff here. Oh, he goes back with the alternates. Wow, these strategies are all over the place here, Tom. What a race we're witnessing here.
Absolutely, it is a different strategy for sure. So we see Richard Swindell back out on track. Let's see if James Pierce foregoes another one. He does! Look at that. James Pierce, 17 laps completed on these tires now. And he continues to stay out on the racing surface. He's still pulling very fast lap times, a 1:15.26. That's only 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds off his fastest lap time right now. And which is the fastest lap time of the whole server right now, as James Pierce continues to lead this race. That number 1 machine is extremely fast.
Yeah, that one machine is quick. The driver behind the wheel is so smooth and hits his marks perfectly. That's his trademark. He's just so consistent. And he is putting together lap times, kind of proving everybody wrong with the tire life on these alternates. I can't believe it. He's almost to the 1/3 mark of this race on these alternates, and he's still digging. Running faster lap times than P2, which is on the primary tires, but with the older alternates. Unbelievable. James Pierce just putting together a display right now, proving that he can get the life out of these tires. Through turn 10 now, he's going to be rounding turn 11. Let's see if he finally hits this time by, or if he continues on. This is crazy.
Yes, absolutely. Here he comes! James Pierce down pit road now. He's got almost a 20-second gap to second place of Drew Hopkins now, as he's coming into the final hairpin, turn 10. As now he's coming into turn 11. James Pierce coming to get a little bit inching closer to his pit box now. Let's see where Drew Hopkins comes out. As you can see, the number 1 car in his pit box up in the air right now, with primaries on as well. There goes Drew Hopkins. He's leading this race at the moment. Jeff Wubker also down pit road as well in that number 92 machine. Steven Ritter's. This is the undercut right here. He can't make it happen. He is 1.6 seconds behind James Pierce right now. He loses a little bit of time.
Yeah, and you look behind Jordan Whiting and Travis Smith is where I was going with that. He's doing a fantastic job too, maintaining that gap on those primary tires. He still hasn't made a pit stop at all this race. Will be interesting to see how long he can push these primary tires, as it looks like Jordan Whiting is behind him. He's on those fresher alternates, if he can make some time get around these boys here as well. He's staying in touch here with Ritters. Him and Ritters are on the same strategy. Lots of strategies. I'm trying to do some math in my head here, Tom, to calculate what kind of strategies we're going to see for the rest of this race and where everything's going to blend out when it all gets kind of cycled through. And I'm struggling to figure that out here, Tom. This is wild.
Yeah, same here, Jay. I mean, we've got Drew Hopkins, who came down and pitted on the first caution and putting some primaries on it. We got Travis Smith, who hasn't made a pit stop yet, about to complete lap 19. James Pierce behind him, who finally made his first pit stop, running 18 laps on those reds. And now on primary, Steven Ritter's trying to execute an undercut. Does not happen for him. Finds himself now 1.1 seconds behind James Pierce. And 2.5 seconds behind Steven Ritter's is Jordan Whiting. 2.5 seconds behind in that P5 position. That's your top 5 at the moment. Jordan Whiting, 15 seconds behind him, is his closest competitor of Javon Thompson in P6. And then between first and second, you got about a 2-second gap. Second and third is about a 6-second gap. So these guys putting down some very respectable lap times, already putting together some very good racing, putting together a very good race so far. And Jay, we are a third through this race right now as Drew Hopkins coming into the final, the final hairpin, now coming through the final corners.
Yeah, Hopkins continuing to lead, holding that about a 2-second gap here to Travis Smith. I would assume going into the race, I heard a lot of people talking about maybe running the alternates to start and then running primary sets at the end of this race, making a 3-stopper. Now with Travis Smith making it to the 1/3 mark here on the primaries, I'm wondering if he's thinking maybe run primary alternate to run the end of this race. Interesting stuff here as he continues to maintain this gap here to Drew Hopkins. Drew Hopkins started on the alternate, had that early incident, came down, put the primaries on, and now it's kind of looking like it was planned from the beginning. It's unbelievable how that's working out for him. As you see, I believe that is the 62 of Swindell just there in front of your leader, Hopkins. Although that's going to cycle through. There's a lot more cars still on the lead lap compared to what we see on the board. Oh, there's a car around. Was that Carry-On?
It sure is. He's still stuck there in the middle of the hairpin. He's got a couple more cars coming. Jordan Whiting is next. And then we should see that 22 try to get back out on track here. He might be stuck. No, he's going now. As he's got nobody behind him. Trying to take it a little bit slow there and make sure he doesn't cause an incident. As he spins off again here, maybe struggling a little bit with those tires. He's been using those alternates. Maybe they've just had their life done on those tires. We'll go to your closest battle on track right now. It's Kevin Whalen and Takeshi Kita now coming into hairpin 2.
Yeah, Whalen and Takeshi Kita. This battle for
look at
P9
this.
is Takeshi.
Travis Smith down pit road.
Wow, okay, there it is. Right past the 1/3 mark. Travis Smith, here he is down pit lane. So let's see. This can be interesting. Does he put on the primaries and run primary to alternate at the very end, or does he run the alternates now and then run the primaries to end this race? This is huge. This can determine the rest of the strategy, how this race plays out. And he goes for the alternates. Okay, there it is. Strategy's being played.
All right, Travis Smith, now he's going to come back out on track. He's still going to be what looks like P5, as he's got P6 and P7 right behind him. That's Wubker and Richard Swindell. As these guys now go into turn 1, Wubker is going to go right by him. Swindell's not going to have the opportunity to get around Travis Smith. Travis Smith, though, he's going to have those really soft, really fast alternate tires. He's going to be able to take the fight to Jeff Wubker and try to get that position back pretty quick. But here comes Swindell. Swindell to the inside of Travis Smith. He's actually going to take P6 away. So Travis Smith now back down to P7.
Yeah, Travis Smith on this outlap, maybe taking it a little easy here, wants to make some life out of these alternates, but look at that move there by Swindell, gets by Travis Smith. What is Travis Smith going to take the fight back to him once he gets some heat in these tires, as he's going to continue on here. We're going to go through some more pit stop sequences. Here comes your race leader, Hopkins. Unbelievable. He went 1 lap longer than Travis Smith. That caution lap 1 put on those tires. Let's see what he goes for strategy-wise. As he started on the alternate, went primary. Let's see if he goes back primary or alternate here.
Oh no, his wheel disconnected. His wheel disconnected.
No.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Drew Hopkins, no! Oh, he had to reset! Oh, he lost so much time there! Oh, no! The 15 car having heartbreak. Oh, he almost loses it on pit road. Now he's behind Travis Smith. Oh, no! He's got a chance to come back, but boy, does it look like it has gotten away from him right now on lap 23. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you couldn't have a tougher start to this race than Drew Hopkins. The highs and lows, and we're only 23 laps in. Has an incident on lap 1, then finds himself leading the race, and then has no issues on pit lane. Unbelievable. Now here he is cycled in P7 behind Travis Smith. Now, He's gonna have to see if he can get the recovery trail again as he's back here in this P7 position. Lots of action. It looks like Takeshi Kita still hounding Waylon though for that P8 position. Let's see what this battle develops to.
Real quick, Jay, I want to go back to the front and just talk about a little bit what happened here because I was monitoring this situation. Steven Ritter's got stuck behind Nicholas Pressey as he was trying to battle James Pierce, and he has lost a lot of time. That gap now almost 5 seconds between first and second as James Pierce continues to move on. And it looks like here, look at this, Travis Smith did make the pass on Richard Swindell. He is back to P5 as Drew Hopkins continues to blunder in P7, -3 from the race start as Travis Smith is +8 now on those alternates. 3 seconds between himself and Jeff Wubker now in P4. He's got a lot of ground to make up in that number 69 BMW Indy car. So you can see all the cars right there in a line. These guys trying to get back to Jeff Wubker, hopefully get back to Jordan Whiting, who's currently almost 24 seconds ahead of Jeff Wubker. That's a pretty big task to do. As you can see, Drew Hopkins having a little bit of trouble there off the hairpin.
Yeah, this is the most difficult stint of this race, in my opinion, trying to get this tire like, oh, Steven's around. Oh, no, the wait for Hopkins. Oh, it came back. He's so fortunate there. Unbelievable. That would have been catastrophe here for Hopkins as his race is just unfolding in front of his eyes right now. Losing even more time to Travis Smith, having more issues. Somebody right there through the grass maybe there through this hairpin. Unbelievable through turn 10. He's going to continue on here in through turns 11 and 12. On lap 25, strategies all over the place. Guys having some issues recovering and then more issues here for Drew Hopkins. Continuing to find his way up here towards the front of the field.
I think Drew needs to name his car Octavius. Octavius the Octopus, because that thing just regenerated like no other. Like an octopus, it regenerated. Maddox off track right there.
Rather lucky than good.
Yeah, right. That's right. Daniel Maddox off track right there. Nick Pressey now to the inside of Drew Hopkins. Drew Hopkins going to make that pass as Kevin Whalen and Takeshi Kita still going at it right here. These guys have been battling for, pretty much this whole race. Kevin Whalen right now holding strong against Takeshi. Takeshi having those alternates on that number 64 as Kevin has the primaries on that number 42. So Kevin really doing a wheelman's job right now, keeping those alternates behind him.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. I'm really impressed, too, by Takeshi Kita. Had that incident, lost his rear wing, and he's recovered pretty well, honestly, back to a P9 position. Really hounding Waylon. We got a little bit of lap traffic here in front, though. This could cause trouble here for Waylon, as he's doing a masterful job holding back these alternates with these primaries. Here through this big sweeper turn here. Let's see, off of turn 12, can Takeshi get a run? Here it comes, Takeshi does have a run. He's gonna go the outside of Waylon. We're 3 wide across the front shed. Here comes Takeshi Kita. Wheeling into turn 1. Takeshi's gonna try and make it happen on the outside. Oh, near contact, but Waylon's gonna hold strong as we have for turn 2.
A lot of side-by-side action there as now Kevin Whalen continues to hold on to that P8 position. Once again, this is your closest battle on track between the 42 and the 64, as these guys have been duking it out for, seriously, this whole race. Kevin Whalen and Takeshi Kita could not get away from each other. Look at the run that Takeshi gets off of hairpin 2 now, as he's coming through 6, 7, 8, and 9 now. As the 64 does lose a little bit of time behind the 42, but he's got that draft now coming down this little back straightaway here at Phillip Island. And now coming down into 9 and 10. Let's see if Takeshi can get a little bit of outbraking done here as he goes. Oh, the 42 locks up. The 64 almost had an opportunity present for him, but he's coming through the final corners now. Another opportunity for the 64 to get around the 42.
Gosh, this is just such great racing. Waylon doing what he needs to do, being in front of Takeshi. Takeshi gets a great run here. So does Waylon. Here comes Takeshi. Can he get close enough? Maybe on the push of pass here, as it looks like Waylon's a little defensive here in a 1. Takeshi, does he send it to the inside? Oh my goodness, he tried. He just couldn't make it happen. Here through turn 1, headed for turn 2 now. Takeshi, a little arc of the corner, a little wider entry here, but Waylon's gonna hold strong here with a great exit off of 2, headed for turn 3. Can Takeshi get close enough for turn 4? 4.
Turn 3 now complete. The 64 Takeshi trying to get to the rear bumper of the 42 once again, and hairpin 2 he does get there, but the 42 has great exit speed off of that corner. Now going in to turn 5, Takeshi not being able to do much here. He is actually losing a bit of time to Kevin. 0.6 of a second splits these two guys. As whoa, big issues here for Kevin Whalen. He's off track. Look at this.
No!
Kevin
so
Whalen!
unfortunate.
We're going to have to go back and look at that and see what happened to this 42 machine as they were... let's try to get a good view here. Maybe he caught a little bit of grass. He did! Maybe loss of concentration there just for a split second and finds himself in the grass. Takeshi Kita now with the 6-second gap between himself and Kevin Whalen. Kevin Whalen foregoing a pit stop here to run another lap. As just, wow, unfortunate sequence of events there for Kevin. Takeshi, though, holding strong in that P8.
Yeah, what? Sometimes the best offense is the best defense as well. It's weird how that works. Applying the pressure here to Whalen, and Takeshi Kita gets out on the good end of that deal up to a P8 position. Recovering. He had a wing missing at one point of this race, and now here he is pretty much on strategy with the guys in front of him in a P8 position. Doing a fantastic job here is Takeshi Kita. Lots of strategy playing out. Looks like James Pierce has opened that gap up to Ritter's also to 6 seconds. Ritter's up to Whiting by 4 seconds, and then another 24 seconds.
Whoa! Big wreck!
Whiting's wrecking! Oh my goodness! Aerial astronaut NASA certification for Jordan Whiting. He's still rolling. The wreck that never ends. It's like Talladega Nights. Where's the Applebee's commercial? Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
We're gonna go to commercial break here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have regained our composure. Let's go ahead and look back at what happened to Jordan Whiting there as he's coming into turn 1. A little bit of action there between himself and the 7 car going into turn 1. Cameron Capone, as he just continues to go on the whirlwind there. Wow, unbelievable. That man... You couldn't throw a Fig Newton further than that. We'll go back and look at this real quick as we get a little bit of a better shot here. Maybe a little bit of slow-mo action.
We should do an onboard. That's what we need to do.
All right. I'm all for that. Let's go with onboard with the Dega Boys cam as we see what happened here between Jordan Whiting and Cameron Capone. Going into turn 1, the 7 car may not have realized that the 24 was there, made a big bunch of contact there. As you can see, the 24 torpedo himself. As you can see, sky, ground, sky, ground, sky, ground. sky,
flying the air
ground.
through the air right now. This ain't good. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Holy cow.
Aren't you supposed to let go of the steering wheel as a race car driver?
No, he's still wheeling it, man. He can
He's wheeling
save
it.
this race car, man. We're gonna continue on here. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Still going for it. Here, we'll just... That was wild. That was wild. All right. Well, we'll go back live here because we got a little bit of a battle happening. Brad Haldane, Javon Thompson now going in a hairpin too. Here comes Brad to the inside of Javon. He's going to take away that P7 position right now as Brad now sets his sights on Kevin Whalen. Javon Thompson might be in trouble here a little bit, as you can see a little bit of not a lot of performance out of that 93 so far. Richard Swindell behind him, now setting his sights on Javon Thompson, coming through turns 9 and 10. Now, they're going to be coming into the hairpin. Let's see what Richard Swindell can do here.
Yeah, Swindell continuing to pressure here on the rear bumper, trying to make something happen here, going through this top shelf area of the racetrack through the 6, 7, 8, 9 complex, going to go through 11, and then off at 12 as he continues to run down the guy in front of him off of turn 12. He's going to continue on here. In this P9 position, Swindell doing a fantastic job trying to close this gap here to Javon Thompson. Headed for turn 1.
All right, now we've got pit stops happening again. Steven Ritters down pit road. Let's see what he can do here. He's going to take off those primaries. Remember, Steven Ritters last time went with the severe undercut, tried to make up some ground on James Pierce. Could not do it. As he's going to come in P2, and it looks like he's going to try to come out P2. He goes primary again off the exit and down the front straightaway, or back onto the front straightaway. Jeff Webker right behind him in the number 92. Looks like he's on primaries as well. Steven Ritter's getting that pit stop done real early here. Let's see if he can make up any time on James Pierce.
Yeah, something tells me that Ritters is going to go for the 4-stop strategy, going with the alternates right now just past the halfway point. He's got to be on a 4-stop strategy. We've seen James Pierce, your race leader, all night long be able to make the tire life on these tires last longer than anybody else, as he is now still in P2 as Ritters did a fantastic job executing. Oh, he's off track! Oh, no, not what he needs on this outlap, trying to get the heat in them tires. Maybe losing some more time here to James Pierce. Not what he wants here in this 99 McLaren. Oh, there's another guy off the track back there, I believe. That was
Maddox.
Oh, no. Big contact here, Maddox. That car's big broke left front, hanging off to the side there. But Ritters, 39 seconds behind your race leader, James Pierce, on the primary tires once again. Maybe a 4-stopper here.
It's going to be interesting to see what that 99 does here tonight, as he's coming through the final corners now. Jeff Webker 1.6 seconds behind him. Steven Ritters having a real bad outlap there. He's giving up some more time to Jeff Webker. But we're going to check and continue to monitor these lap times. You can see it up on your screen as well. The top left, you can see the interval between everybody, and then lap times, last lap time. So Steven Ritters had a 1:19 last time by. As you can see, he is going to try and improve that just a little bit here. Kevin Whalen now down pit road. Let's see what he does currently on the primaries. Let's see if he switches to alternates.
Yeah, Whalen's been doing a fantastic job. Had that one mistake there early in the race. Was able to not get any contact or damage to it through the grass. Let's see. This is an interesting part of this race here. I believe these are the guys that are planning on making maybe one more pit stop again after this. Put that 4-stop strategy on display. Looks like he goes back to the primary tires. Going to continue with what's been working for him the best here so far this race. As it looks like maybe he's going to follow in Ritter's in his footsteps, as he's a trailblazer here on the 4-stop strategy, the 4-stopper, exactly, as he's exiting pit lane now.
All right. Kevin Whalen back on the racetrack after getting some tires. And I'd actually like to go to old Travis Smith here. He's currently P4. He's got a little bit of lap traffic in front of him as he tries to deal with that. Drew Hopkins is behind him. As you can see, behind Travis Smith is the number 94 of Nick Pressey and Blake Nave. 13th and 14th there. Blake Nave And Nicholas Pressey going to have to hold off Drew Hopkins as he's coming through turns 1 and 2. Or excuse me, Drew Hopkins going to have to deal with a little bit of lap cars to get back to the rear bumper of the number 69 of Travis Smith as they come out of turn 2 into turn 3 and 4. And let's see how that plays out. But right now, James Pierce still leading this field out front, coming through turns 2 now with a 40-second gap to second place of Steven Ritters.
Yeah, I think. Oh, he goes off track there. Does not get anything catastrophe happening there for your race leader. But one guy I think we need to keep our eyes on here is Jeff Wubker. He pitted early in this race on that flap 1 caution with the Hopkins machine as well as Swindell. Here he is on a really interesting strategy. Maybe a 2-stop strategy. Well, I guess it'd be 3 if you count the lap 1 pit stop. But a 2-stop strategy? This guy, this could be your ultimate dark horse here in this race with this strategy plays out the way it's working. Currently holding that P3 position, only 2 seconds behind Ritters. This is a crazy strategy, and it's working out for him in all the right ways right now.
Yes, absolutely. Jeff Webker can absolutely take away that P2 position. Oh, we got a little bit of a battle here. Here's Takeshi Kita. Once again, he's going to go and take it to Javon Thompson next. Javon locking it up through the final hairpin and going into turn 11 and 12 now as they continue to duke it out here at Phillip Island. Final corner now under wraps. They're going to be completing lap 36 on to 37 now as they're coming down the front straightaway. Look at this. Takeshi looking to make a pass here into turn 1.
Here comes Takeshi Kita to the inside of Javon. This could be a pretty easy overtake as Javon gives him a ton of respect. Wow, Takeshi's been so fun to watch here tonight, making bold moves. And he does another one here on Javon Thompson. Takes over that P8 position. Takeshi Kita has put together a phenomenal race. I'm interested to see what he could do going forward from here as he has Swindell only 3 seconds up the road from him. But here comes Wubker. This was the strategy I was waiting to see. When was he going to make his pit stop? And here he comes. Do we see the alternate tires? Do we see the primaries? This is a big moment in this race right here for Jeff Wubker.
Absolutely it is. He needs to execute here down pit road, get a great pit stop in. Let's see what he can do here now. Car is up in the air. Looks like he's going primaries once again in that number 92 as he's coming off of pit road now. And he has a pretty clean pit stop sequence for himself. James Pierce down pit road as well. Your leader now down pit road.
Yes, this is going to be interesting. We'll see. He ran the primaries on this day. It started on the alternates. I believe he most likely will go back to the primaries again here during this pit sequence. Can Ritters close this gap down to James Pierce while he's on pit road? Oh, he slid through the box. He's going to lose a little bit of time here. He goes for the alternates. Wow. Unbelievable. James Pierce is literally changing the name of game of strategy right now as he is going to leave pit lane. It looks like he's going to maintain that lead over Ritters. Unbelievable job he's been doing so far as you see Waylon there in the background trying to close this gap into turn 1. He's got to take it easy though here on these first couple corners, get some heat in these tires, not making a mistake.
Yes, absolutely. We saw a couple of drivers have a little bit of issues with some cold tires here. As you can see him, he's pushing real wide there. Had to get off the gas. James Pierce, though, keeping it on the racetrack for now as he's coming through turns 3 and into turn 4. Hairpin 2. As here comes Kevin Whalen. Look at that dive bomb. Oh, wow. Oh. He's going to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. Here comes James Pierce with the crossover move. What a move by the one truck. Oh, the 42's off. Kevin Whalen.
Oh no, Waylon was getting aggressive there trying to get by James Pierce, and here he is going through the gravel trap, losing a ton of time here. Not what he needed, was doing so great in this race, controlling and managing his race, and now he's going to lose a ton of time here going through the gravel trap, coming up turn 10 now, headed for turn 11, 12, the end of this course. Unbelievable. That was a big moment there for James Pierce. Little uh-oh moment.
Yeah, let's go back and look at that, actually, because there was a lot that happened there as we could break it down just a little bit more. As we go slow-mo, the one car of James Pierce, he did the crossover move off of turn 4, and as you can see, Kevin Whalen now to the outside, maybe missed his braking point there, tried to avoid James Pierce. That was almost huge news for everybody else in the field besides James Pierce and Kevin Whalen, as James Pierce comes away unscathed.
Yeah, that could have been catastrophe there for your leader. That could have been the whole race right there if you'd have gotten some damage. But even through the pit sequence, and now he's on the alternates. He's built up a 3-second added to his 6-second gap hit he had over Ritters before this sequence. Unbelievable job he's doing. Hopkins, though, he's got that gap down to Travis Smith down to about 2-3 seconds now. Great job he's doing. And then you got Wubker back to P5 with his strategy. This podium is still up for grabs. There's so much to be played out here as we're closing in on the 2/3 mark of this race.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of racing left to go. Currently, we've got, let's see, 14 cars on the lead lap. Is that what it looks like right now? Yep. Or maybe, excuse me, 8 cars on the lead lap. James Pierce putting an absolute hurting on this field right now. Coming across the start-finish line now to complete lap 39 onto lap 40 now. As, really, your closest battle on track once again. Oh, no! Drew Hopkins had an issue. What happened?
Oh, no.
Let's see what happened to Drew here coming into hairpin 2. Oh, real loose.
Oh.
He saves it, though. That's not as bad as what I thought. It looked like on my timing here it said that he had crashed and sustained damage. So a little bit of a liar over here, but Drew Hopkins being able to move on. Currently 6 seconds behind Travis Smith now, which is a little bit more. He was at 3, but no problems. Drew Hopkins lives to see another day.
Oh, man, his race has just been a wild one here tonight. That seems like anything and everything can happen to this man here tonight. So it looked like he might have locked up, got a little loose going into that final hairpin turn 10. As here he is in turn 4 now. Going to continue on through this race course, continuing to put down lap times as we are at the 2/3 mark of this race now. Takeshi Kita, he's up there in P7, closing that gap maybe to Swindell here. Takeshi Kita, he's been fun to watch all night long. Wow, some of the moves and the speed that he's got in this race car has been unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Takeshi being a great driver that we've witnessed so far in this series. Puts on one heck of a show every time we come out here to race with these guys. Takeshi Kita now 2.5 seconds behind Richard Swindell as he's coming off of turn 5. Travis Smith down pit road.
Here it is, Travis Smith. Maybe put the primaries back on this race car and go to the end of this race. I don't know if you could do it on alternates. He is on alternates now. Maybe primaries to the end. Travis Smith looking for this podium spot tonight. This is a perfect strategy call. I like this right here. Go to the end on primaries, and there it is. This is going to be great to watch. See what Travis Smith can do here as he's going to leave pit road, maybe back in P5, maybe P6 when he blends back in.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to lose P6 to Richard Swindell. Takeshi Kita now, he's going to come around, or he's going to try to now, down into turn 1. Let's see if Takeshi takes it. He does. He's going to go right around the 6-9 of Travis Smith as they go through turns 1 and into turns 2. Now, Travis Smith going to be scored in P7 now. We had a little bit of incident on track once again. Daniel Maddox in his number 68 machine coming off the racetrack and going into the gravel pit as he tries to find his way back onto the racetrack as he spins it around. Whoa!
Whoa! Is that Capone? Unbelievable there by Capone. Wow.
Let's go on board with that. That was wild.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Let's see what Capone saw. He saw his light flash through his eyes right there. Good Lord. Holy cow.
How did he hang on to that race car? He's dead left. Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable. Cameron Capone with the save of the century right there. Good Lord. Travis Smith, though, still P7 chasing down Takeshi Kita now.
Man, we say it every week. The best iRacers in the business, and man, do they prove it on a weekly basis. Every league we call, this is incredible. As here comes Travis Smith continuing on, maybe getting some heat in those primaries. He knows he's got to maybe take these tires to the end of the race. Be a little careful with them, as he's not too far behind Takeshi Kita or Swindell. Wait, Takeshi Kita's lost a lot of time here to Swindell. 12-second gap, or no, it's a 2-second gap. I'm sorry. I was confusing myself there for a second. But yes, Travis Smith continuing on here in P7. by Takeshi Kita. And then you also have Javon Thompson lurking back there as well. He's been under the radar all race long. Hasn't really made any mistakes. Just been consistent, running right here in the top 10 right now, currently P8.
Yeah, absolutely. Your last week's winner, Javon Thompson, currently P8 on track. We got another taker down pit road, Drew Hopkins in P3. He's going to be coming down pit road. Let's see what he takes. I would not expect anything but the primary to finish out this race. Jeff Webker now being promoted to P3 as the 15 now stops in his box. Pretty good pit stop, as we'll see what he does.
Yes, let's see what he does. I believe you're right, Tom. I think he's going to go primary to the end of this race here, and he does. He goes primary. So we'll see where he blends back out, currently P6. We'll see if Travis Smith can maintain that lead over him. There goes Travis Smith. Goes right on by, and then here comes Hopkins. He'll follow back here into P7. So this could be a battle for podium between Hopkins and Smith, depending on how the strategy plays out here for Webker and Swindell. I mean, this race is wide open. I'm trying to figure this out in my head, all the math and everything that's taking place with all the strategy, and I'm still lost for where this whole race is going to blend out. Looks like Webker's 6 laps. Can Webker make it to the end? I mean, that's a lot to ask out of those tires, but he's on the primary. If he can make it happen, he's currently sitting in a podium position. It's unbelievable.
I think the one thing he'll have to worry about is fuel, Jay. I think fuel will be everything if he can finish it out with that fuel mileage. We'll see, though. James Pierce on the same strategy, but James Pierce has built himself a pretty good lead. Ritters might be pitting again one last time to see if he can hold on to a podium position. That'll be big news for him. But Jeff Webker right now looking very pretty at the moment, sitting in P3.
Yeah, and another thing to note too, I said that maybe Webker can't make it to the end on these primaries, but James Pierce pitted like the lap later, and he's on the alternates. So I mean, this race is wide open. I mean, the strategy is wild right now. I don't know how this is gonna play out, as we currently only have the 7 guys on the lead lap, as Pierce is just putting down an absolute flyer lap times, right? He's built up a 12-second gap here to P2, and then 49 seconds between Ritters and Webker, and then after that, it's pretty tight there from 4th on back. That's going to be an interesting battle here towards the end of this race. Who can make it to the end? We still got lots of push to pass there by a lot of these guys. Travis Smith's used all his. He's out of that, so he's not going to have an opportunity to use it for the rest of the race. But Takeshi Kita, right there behind Swindell, he's still got 7 uses left, and he's close enough. He's 2 seconds behind Swindell.
Yep, it is now coming down to 15 laps to go here at Phillip Island. You saw James Pierce right there get a little off track, get a little bit upset. He might be pushing these tires a little too hard to try and get back to the end of this race. As you can see, whoa, who is that? 7th place, Drew Hopkins. Drew Hopkins is off, big damage!
This race has been just an absolute interesting story and a tale here for Hopkins. Anything and everything that could happen to this man tonight has happened, and here he is with a destroyed front wing. Oh, is there more incident there? Look like was that Ritters that just went by there? There's a lot going on here. Unbelievable. Is Hopkins, man, this race has been wild for him.
Well, let's go back and see what happened to Drew, because that is some pretty significant damage to that number 15 machine. Let's see what happens. Oh, he caught the grass. Nowhere to go. He locks it all up. Tries to slow her down. Not big contact, actually. He just loses that front wing. So maybe not a lot of wheel damage there. But we're going to go back real quick to the battle happening here. Kevin Whalen and Brad Haldane duking it out here for P7.
Yeah, this is a great battle. Brad Haldane also had a lot of damage here early in this race. He's recovered. But now here he is behind Whalen. This is going to be a great battle here as Brad Haldane is closing this gap pretty rapidly here to Whalen. Here into this hairpin, be able to close some distance here to Whalen as we're going to continue on here through. Oh, we got another car off track.
Is that Webker?
Oh, that's Webker!
No, it's not.
No, it is not. Okay. I thought, oh, man. That was like, dang, this race can not get any more interesting. Wow.
It was Blake Nave. We'll go back and look and see what happened to Blake in that Toyota IndyCar machine, number 51. As we see him coming through hairpin 2. Oh, he just loses it coming off the exit right there. And that is all she wrote, folks. As we got a battle now with Kevin Whalen and Brad Haldane heating up once again.
Yeah, Brad Haldane continuing to hound the rear of the 42, filling up that mirror here off of turn 12. Brad Haldane does got the push to pass. Here we go, an opportunity maybe in a turn 1. Brad Haldane, can he get aggressive here in a turn 1? All over the rear tailpiece here of the 42 of Wayland. Oh, Wayland defensive here in a turn 1. Brad Haldane, can he set some up here in a turn 2?
No, it doesn't look like it. That gap has increased between these two drivers, but Brad, he's coming back on the exit of Hairpin. Look at him go. He's going to shoot to the outside of the 42, or try to at least. Coming into Hairpin 2, who's going to outbreak the other? Nobody. The 42 stays out in front of the 39 right now, as we're seeing Drew Hopkins come down pit lane once again in that number 15. But Brad Haldane, Kevin Whalen going at it once again here in the closing stages of this 60-lap race at Phillip Island.
Yeah, here we go through this sweeper. Brad Haldane, if he can stay close enough, build a run here into turn 10, maybe outbreak Wayland into that final hairpin, as he's going to try and close up. Oh, he gets real heavy on the brakes, trying to go to the outside line. Maybe a little bit of walk up there by Haldane, but Wayland did a fantastic defensive maneuver there to stay in this position. Brad Haldane going to try and follow him here through 11. Does he have another opportunity here off of 12 down the front straightaway with some more push to pass? Can he get close enough here to Wayland?
Let's see if push to pass is being used. It doesn't look like it so far as Brad Haldane comes down the front straightaway. He's going to gain a little bit of time here, but not enough to get to the rear bumper. Going back through turns 1 and into turn 2. Can Brad outbreak the 42? It looks like he does just slightly there, but the 42 is having a little bit of issues on the exit of turn 2. Look at Brad Haldane close the gap there just a little bit more as they come into hairpin 2. Let's see what Brad can do here as they both get a clean entry and a clean exit now, as Brad Haldane still finds himself behind Kevin Whalen. We got pit stops happening. Richard Swindell, Takeshi Kita coming down pit road.
There it is, final pit stop of the day for these boys. It looks like Takeshi Kita gained a bunch of time here on pit entry. We'll see what these guys do strategy-wise. I was also looking at the lap times. It looks like Ritters is cutting that gap down to James Pierce. I wonder if he's nursing those alternate tires near the end of this race. Unbelievable there. We'll see what these guys do. They both go primary and alternate respectively. Wow, I like this call by Swindell, but look at Takeshi. We have a race on pit lane. Unbelievable, something's got to give here. Looks like Takeshi Kita is going to hold on or take that position, overcut him through the pit sequence.
Steven Ritters right now is about a half second quicker than James Pierce, and he is severely catching him here. Now coming off of turn 2, the first hairpin, Steven Ritters having a great run so far. James Pierce dealing with a little bit of lap traffic. That's 12th place in front of him of... 11th place. Drew Hopkins is in front of them at the moment, as you can see them now coming through the 6, 7, 8, and 9 corners, as James Pierce still continuing to lead this race. Steven Ritters has brought this gap down just under 11 seconds. So Steven Ritters having some good lap times put in. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Yeah, and the advantage is he's on these primary tires, so he doesn't really have to nurse them. He pitted not too long ago as well, so he's gonna make it to the end of this race on these primary tires. James Pierce maybe nursing him. Oh, it's Takeshi makes a mistake. Oh no, he's gonna lose that spot again, right back to Swindell, back to P6. Unbelievable. This race is just so thrilling. You never know what's gonna happen next. It's unbelievable.
Well, let's go back and see what happened to Takeshi here, as they were coming into the final hairpin of the racetrack here. Oh, he caught a little bit of grass there on the exit of that corner coming down into that final hairpin. So he loses a position there. We also had another on-track incident. We'll see what happened here to the 68 of Daniel Maddox. Now coming through turns 3 and getting into hairpin 2. Just locks him up. Oh, whoa! Watch out there! That's the 51 of Blake Nave. Having a little bit of issues himself. Daniel Maddox gets a tow back to pit road. Takeshi Kita, though, now finding himself almost 3 seconds behind Richard Swindell in P5.
Doing a fantastic job of Swindell getting right back by Takeshi Kita. But James Pierce, your race leader, is going to cross the line here for the Digga Boys. 10 to go here at Phillip Island in the Rumble down under as he continues to lead. He's got an 11.6 second gap now. He's opened it back up here to to Steven Ritters, as he's behind Drew Hopkins now. He's been fast all day long. This might be a good opportunity to follow in the tire tracks here, Drew Hopkins. Not make anything too difficult here on yourself.
Blake Nave off track once again there through turns 1 and 2. He's going to get back on track. Kevin Whalen now coming down pit road. Takeshi Kita does make that, or excuse me, Takeshi was already in front of him. Kevin Whalen coming down pit road for the final time tonight. Most certainly going to put some alternates on that vehicle to come back out. Let's see what he does do. He does put them red tires on. Them red ones are fast. They call them alternates, I think. But Steven Ritter's now coming off of turn 5 into turn 6, 7, 8. As that gap is still 11.4 seconds. Steven Ritter's, though, now having to deal with a little bit of traffic.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. If James Pierce can make it to the end of this race on that set of alternates, I'm going to be absolutely impressed. This is unbelievable what he's been able to do so far. Continuing on here, he's got 9 more laps to go. Can he nurse this thing around for 9 more times around this racetrack as Ritters is down pit lane. Whoa, this is big. I did not expect another pit stop here from especially Ritters. He was on the primaries. Unbelievable. Changing up the strategy here. Wubker might be able to go by here. Maybe. He was 50 seconds behind before this pit sequence. We'll see how this all blends back out. But wow, changing the strategy again here.
Well, I don't know if I really understand this, Jay. I mean, Steven was 10 seconds behind James. If James made a mistake, he was there. He was going to grab that. Although he does have enough time between himself and third place, I assume he's going to come out here and try to get the fastest lap and maybe just bag that. But I don't think the risk versus reward here the risk is far greater than the reward.
Oh, Blake Nave off track again there. Looks like Ritters is going to get by cleanly. Maybe baiting James Pierce into a pit stop here late in this race. I'm going to throw on my primer or the alternates. Going to try and go as fast as I can. Maybe I can bait James Pierce into pitting, and that can allow myself to close this gap back down, because you know James has got to be nursing those tires a little bit to this extent. I mean, wow. He's already been on those tires for just about 20 laps now. And he's still got another 8 more circuits. This is crazy. I don't know how this is going to play out. This whole race has been just unreal. I mean, the strategies have been all over the place. Wubker really kind of playing a strategy with the 15 of Hopkins, and he kind of came out on the good end of this, sitting on those primary tires here towards the end of the race, sitting in a P3 position in front of Travis Smith. But we only have 4 cars on the lead lap. James Pierce continues to lead here on those alternates.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what Ritters can do here. It may be a further shot than what we'd like to see right now, but James Pierce putting on an absolute clinic here tonight with the Nexus Grand Prix Championships and that #1 Mini Cooper machine as he's coming through now the final corners, the final hairpin of the circuit. So you can see everybody in front of him locking up there. That's Travis Smith now going 1 lap down in P4. James Pierce once again lapping everybody up to P3. Oh, here he comes. He's coming down pit road.
There it is. That's what I figured. I figured that with that pit stop there by Ritters, he was baiting James Pierce into pitting. So these guys are on a 4-stopper. This is interesting. We heard maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe some rumors of 4, and here it is, 4-stopper with Ritters and Pierce. Unbelievable here. As this, I believe he's going to be able to maintain the lead. He'd probably throw on another set of those alternates and go to the end of this race. Oh, he slides through the box again, making mistakes here late in this race. As it looks like now, look at Ritters. He's coming off of turn 11 now. This could get interesting because Ritters have enough of pace here down the front straightaway to kills up to the leader of James Pierce.
Straightaway away from these two guys being able to battle it out for the win. As you can see Pierce now going into turn 2 as Ritters is now coming into turn 1. That gap has been decreased now. It's about 7-8 seconds right now. Jeff Webker coming down pit road now as he's not going to have much of a battle from behind. But last time by, Steven Ritters, fastest lap of the night, a 1:13.67.
Yeah, he's got it down under 7 seconds now. Unbelievable. He is just ripping lap times right now, trying to close this gap to James Pierce. We got 7 laps to go in this race. Still digging. Not gonna let the fight get away from him too hard here, as that looks like Travis Smith leaps Webker on the pit sequence. I was wondering how that was gonna work out. So now Travis Smith's up on a podium position.
I'd like to go on board here with James Pierce as he starts to battle the lap cars in front of him. Let's just go ahead and see what it's like as James Pierce navigates the final corners of this race. He's got the 13th place Corey Kobe in front of him. Might hinder him, might benefit him. We'll see here in the coming corners.
Yeah, he's going to dive down here into turn 1, this right-hander, and then the big swooper here in turn 2. So he's closing this gap to the lap car in front of him as he is going to continue. Look at how just aggressive he is on the wheel there, trying to get through turn 2. Going to have this little kind of dog-leg-ish turn 3, and then we're going to set up here into the turn 4 hairpin, closing this gap down. Oh, look how aggressive he is on the brakes. Oh, nice overtake there. A lot of respect there by the lap car there of Corey Kobe. Great job there as he's going to continue here through 5 and then head for the 6, 7, 8, 9 complex with the elevation change.
All right, now coming up the hill, he's going to get a little left-hander, a little bit of a right-hander too. A full throttle right-hander up the hill, just a little bit more, a left-hander. Then they're going to come to the top of the hill and then straight down into another hairpin. Hard on the brakes for James Pierce. Hard right-hand turning. He's going to try to get those wheels or those tires planted. The full throttle application there, very hard to do as James Pierce absolutely masters it coming off the final corner now. Let's see what kind of a lap time he can put down, if he can best the lap time that Steven Ritter's put down. Coming across the line, let's see what he does. Oh, he does not best it. Steven Ritter's still with the fastest lap time. Steven Ritter's was 0.3 slower than James Pierce last time by.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's still got 6 push-to-passes to James Pierce. 5 laps to go in this race. He's just been so methodical. You see how consistent he is. Just doing that lap along with him makes it show just how aggressive he is on the brakes and how just smooth he is on making his corners efficient and getting the drive off that he needs, not having any type of wheel spin or anything that's going to give him an off track on the exit either. So just a fantastic onboard there with James Pierce, really showing why he is out front in this field right now, managing this race to perfection right now.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, we had a little bit of an off-track excursion by Jeff Webker. Let's go back and see what happened to Jeff in the number 92. Coming through turns 1 and 2. Oh, no, he's going to lose a lot of time there. Now being scored all the way back in P10 for himself, as that is just so unfortunate for the 92. Very late in this race. As we go back to James Pierce here, looks like Steven Ritter's now. He is going to get that draft off of the lap car in front of him. He's making up time. He is absolutely making up time here. So if James Pierce makes a mistake, it could all be in the hands of Steven Ritter's.
Yes, I believe maybe your closest battle on track there. I believe Brad Aldane's still hounding Waylon here. He's going to get a great run here down the straightaway. They're both on push to pass. Waylon in defense on push to pass. Brad Aldane on aggression with the push to pass here to turn 1. Oh, we got a little bit of lap traffic in front.
Contact!
Oh, contact is around. Goes Waylon. No. Oh, right there. And then Aldane loses a wing. Unbelievable. 4 laps to go. No.
Oh, man, that's terrible. That is just terrible. Jordan Whiting now coming behind Brad Aldane after that NASA excursion that he had tonight. He's going to recover for a P7 at the moment. Jeff Webker, he's going to be able to hopefully grab some more positions out of this as Kevin Whalen is all the way back here.
Oh,
unfortunate for that 42 machine. He's going to take that tow back to pit road. As now we got a little bit of a battle here between Richard Swindell and Takeshi Kita. Look at this.
Yeah, Takeshi Kita, he was like 3 seconds back. He closed this gap all the way down to 0.6. Takeshi Kita looking for a P4 position here on Swindell. This is unbelievable. Takeshi Kita, he has had the opposite here of Hopkins. He had a little bit of bad luck, and then everything else kind of fell into his lap here. Doing a fantastic job, gets a great run off this corner. We're heading up for the top of this hill here. And Takeshi Kita's got down to 0.3, and he's still got 4 push to passes here. Can he make something happen here late in this race?
Swindell on the defense now for that P4 position. As Takeshi wants that P4 position, they're coming down the back end of this course. Going to be coming down the hill now into the final hairpin of this course. As you can see, Takeshi, he might be using a push to pass here to try, and there it goes. The push to pass is active for Kita as he's coming around the final corner. Going to try to get a little bit of draft here by the 62. Swindell not using a push to pass at the moment. And look at Takeshi Kita coming into turn 1, just closing that gap left and right to the inside. What a move by Kita going into turn 1. He holds on to P4 for now with 2 laps to go in this race.
Gosh, driver of the day nominee here for Takeshi Kita. Holy cow, he's just put on an absolute show tonight. Always on the aggression. I love it. This guy's aggressive. This is just making a fun race out of this. As now Swindell, he's going to be in the reverse opportunity that Takeshi Kita was. He's going to have 3 more push to passes. Can he make something happen to take the fight back to Takeshi here as we're going through the 6, 7, 8, 9 complex now with these boys?
All right, they're going to be taking a pretty sharp left and a pretty sharp right. All full throttle here up the hill. A little bit of a left-hander and then back down the hill. And let's see if Richard Swindell can do anything here coming into this hairpin. No, it doesn't look like it. Takeshi Kita outbraking Richard Swindell into that final hairpin. Now coming into the final corners of this track. They're going to be looking at 2 laps to go here, as James Pierce is just behind him now in that P1 position, trying to get back to P5 to make a lap on them. As James Pierce now comes with white flag in the air.
Yeah, white flag is in the air. One more time around here at Phillip Island for your race leader, James Pierce, through turns 1 now. He's got Nick Pressey right in front of him. That's a lap traffic going through turn 2. Oh, it's going to get real tight there. Not what James Pierce needs here on the final lap. Just got to bring her on home with that 8.9 second lead. Side by side, wheel to wheel here with a lap car on the final lap. Little bit of aggression here. Heavy on the brakes goes James Pierce. Gets by Nick Pressey. Through turn 4 now. Unbelievable final lap here by James Pierce, still racing for all it's worth here through turns 5 and 6 now. Heading for the uphill section. Heading for the turn 7, 8, little dog leg, and then the uphill Lukey Heights turn 9, and then the final hairpin turn 10. What an absolute display we saw here tonight by James Pierce. Played the strategy game to absolute perfection. Did it on the 4-stopper. We didn't know if we're going to see that here tonight. Going through turn 9 now, setting up for that final hairpin here. Or this is turn 11, excuse me. Off of turn 12. It is going to be James Pierce making a perfection. An absolute perfection. He is going to win the Rumble Down Under. James Pierce.
Steven Ritter's now coming off the final corner. Going to be coming down the front straightaway here. He's going to bring home that P2 position. Once again for Steven Ritter's Travis Smith. Now, he's all the way back here. He's in turn 5. 6, 7, 8, 9 ahead of him. A great race by Travis Smith. Truly, he made a great call at the beginning of this race. And finding himself in that 3rd place, as he's got really no competition behind him. Just has to come home, keep it straight, and cross that start-finish line for that P3 position. As you can see him now coming up the hill, down the hill now, and into the final hairpin of the track. A little bit of a lockup there. No worries. He keeps it on track into the final corners for Travis Smith. Into turn 11, onto turn 12 now, full throttle off the exit, and Travis Smith in the number 69 gonna bring it home in P3. A little bit of celebration there by that number 69 machine after a job well done. Travis Smith rounding out your podium position.
Yeah, and it looks like Takeshi Kita is going to hang on to that position in front of Swindell for P4. P5 for Swindell. Those are your lead lap cars here at the end of this one. Unbelievable race we saw. Oh, Jordan Whiting. He is also on the lead lap. What a recovery. This dude was a NASA astronaut at one point, flipping through the air. 100 flips. I mean, that wreck never ended. Here he is to the final chicane now. Going to end this race here in a P6 position. What a great job Jordan Whiting did to get back on the lead lap in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. A great recovery as he comes down pit road. All right, Jay. Let's go ahead and bring down our top 3 for tonight. We'll start off with Travis Smith. Let's go ahead and find Mr. Travis. All right. Travis, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Travis, what a great race you ran here tonight. Look, a lot of strategy on track, a lot of green flag runs. I mean, that race right there had to be extremely taxing. Talk to us about what was going on track, what was going through your head. More importantly, what about the strategy?
Just super fortunate that we only had to do 2 stops there. Really came down to 0.7 left in the tank lap-wise. Got lucky.
Wow.
Did fuel save for the second half of the race. Got lucky after last week. After what happened last week, to have a little bit of luck on my side. The wrecks at the beginning, I wouldn't be where I am now without the errors that other people made. So.
Yes, absolutely. Look, though, a lot to take away from this race, though. I mean, Travis, you find yourself at one point in P9 through some strategies, though. But did you ever feel like you couldn't get back up to where you finished here tonight? Did you feel like maybe you may not have had the speed versus others?
100%. 100%, guys. I mean, these guys were so fast out here. Coming into qualifying, being a little bit terrified of like, hey, I might not be safe. Like, I might be a danger to some of these other guys who are so quick. So to come out on a podium, I couldn't be happier with that.
Absolutely. Well, job well done tonight, Travis. Again, coming home P3 in the Nexus Grand Prix Series. I'm going to hand you off to Jay. He might have a few questions for you. But congratulations once again. And Jay, take it away.
Yes, Travis, phenomenal race you had here. You started P13 on a primary tire. We get through lap 1 and you're sitting P4. What was that initial start like? How did you navigate that?
I was luck, a little bit of luck as always, and then just awareness. I think keeping an eye on what everyone else is doing, finding the gaps, shooting the gaps, having faith, and then to pop out on P4 after all of that. I was ecstatic, and it kind of gave me some life. Starting that far back, you're kind of like, all right, we'll do what we can do. Maybe we'll get lucky, maybe top 10. So to lap 1 be P4, I'm losing my mind. I'm absolutely thrilled, and I'm ready to push. And a certain invigorated, I think is the word I'm looking for, just to see P4 of like, oh shit, we're fighting for a podium. Let's go, push, and yeah, it was on from there. So.
Yeah, that totally caught us off by surprise as well. We look up and I was like, I noticed on the crash cam of the wreck, I was like, saw you go by. I'm like, where? He was in 13th. Where did he come from? That was so impressive to see. Unbelievable. But my final question for you here tonight, Travis, is who do you have to thank for this amazing performance here tonight?
Just you guys. You guys are the reason I do this. I love coming back and watching the stream, and it pushes me, and the competition, everyone out there pushes me to drive harder and get better week after week. So,
well,
thanks
thank
for what
you
you guys do. You guys kill it.
Oh, thanks. We truly appreciate those kind words. It means a lot to us, and we really do appreciate it, Travis. We also appreciate you coming out here, giving us some great on-track content. You're a phenomenal driver coming out here week in and week out, and it shows. It shows. You are in the top of this series right now in points. I can't really speak on where right now because I haven't updated my spreadsheet. Apologies, but Travis Smith, congratulations on your P3 run tonight, and we hope to see you in the next one.
Oh yeah, OHIO. Let's go, guys.
All right. All right, that was P3 for tonight, Travis Smith. Let's go ahead and bring down your P2 finisher, Steven Ritters. Steven, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you. Got me?
Yeah. Look, a phenomenal race. That once again, you had the comeback tour of a century in Sebring. Today, you get a phenomenal start to the race. You find yourself out in front of James Pierce. and you hold strong, very strong there. But we saw a little bit of a battle there between yourself and James, and then James take that lead away. What were you experiencing at that time? Did you feel like your car wasn't giving you as much as you needed to stick with James, or what was going on there?
Well, I didn't want to overheat the alternates. They're actually really finicky on this track. If you heat them up too much, then they degrade real fast and they fall off immediately. So I was playing the long game, knew that the race was 60 laps, not one, not even one corner. So I said, you know what, I'll try and catch him with the strategy later, but he had too much pace on me, and you know, he on the primaries, he was just a little bit too fast.
Yes, absolutely. We saw you though. You were extremely fast on the alternates throughout this race. In fact, you brought home the fastest lap of the race with a 1:13.67. Nobody was able to touch that. 0.2 away was James Pierce, but still extremely fast in the short one. What did you need for that long run speed?
Pretty much 2 push to pass. Pretty much, I knew that if I needed to catch James at that point, I was trying to do a little bit of undercut, and maybe get within the draft, but he was 10-12 seconds ahead of me at that point, and if I remember right, he did pit shortly after to cover me off, so it was for naught, but I think it was an extra point for the fastest lap.
Awesome. Well, look, that's all the questions I got for you, Steven. Congratulations on your P2. Jay, why don't you take it over? If you got a couple questions for him, have at it, and we'll round out this broadcast.
Yes, Steven, congratulations on your P2 finish here tonight. We saw a little bit of a mixed bag of strategies. Was your plan, correct me if I'm wrong, 4-stop that you ran here tonight? Was that your plan going in from the beginning?
No, it was 3-stop. I knew that it was going to be extremely tight on fuel. You need to save at least a third of a liter per lap to make it on a 2-stopper. I did a little bit of testing, and it just wasn't worth the 30 seconds that you would save for doing one less pit stop. So I decided to short fuel at the beginning of the race to get a good start, maybe hold James up a little bit, and kind of take advantage of that. But when that caution came out, I started to sweat a little bit. You know, if I would have done it again, I probably would have fueled and tried to make the 2-stopper work, because you save about 2 liters per lap, and we needed to save around 6 liters total for the entire race to make it a 2-stopper. So I probably could have done it, but I had made my choice at that point, and you know, you sleep in the bed you make.
Wow, that's some great insight right there with the strategies. Wow, we were still trying to figure all that out as it was playing out. It was a great race. Nonetheless, amazing performance here with the P2. Who do you have to thank for this performance here tonight?
Again, my wife, Shannon, my kids, Lex and Kaya, and of course my family back home in Montreal.
Absolutely. Huge shout out to Shannon letting Steven come out here and give us some great on-track product. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to you, Steven. Well, actually, hold on. Before I say Steven, big shout out to your kids as well for them letting their dad come out here and give us some great on-track content. Big shout out to you, Steven. Thank you for coming out here, giving us some great on-track content. I know I said that a lot, but I truly appreciate it. Thank you. And Steven, truly, sincerely hopeful that we see you in the next one.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. That was your P2 finisher for tonight. And let's go ahead and bring down your race winner, James Pierce. James, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
From pole to checkered flag, the one car does it once again here in the Nexus Grand Prix Series. You did it at Sebring, and now you do it at Phillip Island. How does it feel to be able to do that once again?
Pretty cool. Sorry, I was stretching. Yeah, it's pretty good. Good, trying to learn the car still, and trying to learn or relearn the car and relearn the wheel and the base, so kind of like exploratory laps for most of it, so feels good to at least come out with some decent laps and at least not the greatest strategy calls in terms of tire choices, but overall I think it was a good run in terms of laps and pacing and making sure that you know, driving standards on at least my part are pretty good with the tire management.
Yes, absolutely. I do want to talk a little bit about the start of this race, though. We saw Steven Ritters get a very good jump on the start there. He gets ahead of you. So does Jordan Whiting going into turn 1, but you retake that pretty quickly. What was going through your head there? What happened on that start of the race, on that standing start? Because in Sebring, we saw you absolutely spank the field, and then here at Phillip Island, maybe a little bit of troubles.
Yeah, no, I completely forget that new base, new settings, so the clutch buy point was not at all checked at all. So I didn't have a clutch, so I was like, I'm just gonna put it in first and hit the gas pedal on the start because I wasn't gonna risk looping in front of the field. So just said whatever's gonna happen on the start, probably gonna get popped by a couple people who actually are gonna use the clutch and just put it in first, hit the gas when it said green, and kind of knew I was gonna get blown by a little bit, but knew I could recover.
Absolutely, and you did with pit stop strategy, with raw speed, brunt speed, and out here tonight, 60 laps around Phillip Island. You get the dubs. Congratulations on your P1, the checker flag tonight. That's all I got for James here. Jay, what do you got for him?
Yeah, I got kind of a two-part question here for you, James. So we talked to Steven about his strategy coming in, and it sounded like you were just off the ball, like different strategy than everybody else, and he made it work. And he said you really beat him when you were on the primary tires. That's where you had the pace. Was your strategy planned this way? I know you were not giving us a whole lot of info in the qualifying interview, but was this planned?
No, not at all. I ran until the tank was dry, and that's all I did for each one of them. Besides probably I think the last stop, I just came in a little early because I was like, hey, I want a couple more enjoyable laps with the Reds instead of just 2 with the new one. So other than that, it was just bull forward and kind of keep going with that. And yeah, the primaries I really should have never take the alternates again. That was a bad idea. Those primaries were pretty fast, going at least in the mid 14s to low 14s for the beginning of the stint, and is kind of the high 14s. So they were probably the fastest tire on the track. So I definitely should have taken those instead, because that was probably my best stint in the car in a while. So proud of that one, and yeah, the pace was good on those.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And also one other little question before I ask you who you want to thank, but what makes you so good on the braking? I mean, that was where you were so strong, is on the braking. What, you got any secrets? You gonna share some tips here with everybody else here?
I got a broken hydraulic dampener on my Fanatec pedal.
That's the most James answer right there.
It might be the cheat code, because every time I get into a braking zone, it's a different pressure. So maybe it's a mental thing on that then. Every time I get in there, I change the way I brake and I'm modulating it. But yeah, no, a broken hydraulic dampener that changes the stiffness of the pedal every time you touch it is probably a cheat code, I think.
There you go. That was the most James answer right there. I was waiting for that one. But final question here: who do you have to thank for this amazing performance here tonight?
Obviously thank Fanatec for the base and their support through the avenues that they've given me and the teams I've been with. Thank 212, of course, being a good family at the moment to me and at least housing me until I either decide whether I want to go further with this, take this serious, or continue on the casual route again. And I don't know what that decision will be, but and thank you guys as well. You guys do a great job putting a product out there and hosting in the league as well. So it's a great product, and you guys put it on every week, and there's a consistency to it that you guys have nailed. So we're very happy to be a part of what this is.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the kind words, James. We truly appreciate it. We appreciate you coming out here, giving us some great on-track content. And again, congratulations on your P1 tonight. A masterful job out here, sir. You're gonna have to start charging for your clinics if you're gonna continue to do this, and that's just some brotherly advice. All right, just some brotherly advice. But congratulations on your win once again, and James, we hope to see you in the next one.
Hey guys, have a good one.
All right, that is your winners, or your winner, one winner tonight. Everybody else being interviewed: Steven Ritters and Travis Smith coming home in P2, P3. What a great race, Jay. Look, we saw a lot of strategy playing out in this race. We saw speed, brunt speed. We saw people saving, like what Steven Ritter said, 2 to 3 liters a lap. Unbelievable that they were able to do that in the era that we're in with these Indy cars and the fuel management that they had to have in order to hit those numbers. Unbelievable what they were able to do tonight. But once again, James Pierce on top, getting the dubs.
Unbelievable race. I love this type of racing. This is good old IndyCar, classic Grand Prix style racing. We had just strategy started from the beginning of qualifying. We had guys like Travis Smith qualify on a primary tire, and then he ends up winding up into a P4 position. I think that set him up for the rest of the day, and he even alluded to that in his interview. Great job there by Travis Smith. We saw, Takeshi Kita, we need to give him a shout out tonight. That guy was putting on a show all race long. Unbelievable. If we had a driver of the day, I think you got to give it to Takeshi Kita. He was just unrelenting tonight. What a fun guy to watch. Put on an absolute show tonight. And then we had different strategies there between Ritters and James Pierce. James Pierce, I believe he had the primaries figured out. He had the pace on the primaries. Then Ritters alluded to that also in his interview. And then then Ritters, I believe he had the pace on the alternates. So it was a little bit of cat and mouse there between those two. They really put on a show. Good battle there at the beginning between those guys. Unbelievable. And then we had a memorable moment here in this race as well. I just got to mention it. Jordan Whiting. Holy cow, man. Infield Care Center had to check out him after the race. Unbelievable. I've never seen an Indy car fly that many times through the air. But unbelievable strategies. We saw 3. I believe we saw maybe a 4 stop. I'd have to go back and look it up to see exactly all the strategies that played out. That's why I love this racing. I'm sitting here trying to do the math in my head, trying to figure out what tires somebody has, what tires somebody else has, when they pitted, how many laps they can make it on fuel. It kept me guessing, and that's the type of racing I love, and what a phenomenal race we had here tonight.
Yes, absolutely. A lot to look forward to, a lot that happened on track, and once again, a phenomenal race being put on by the Nexus Grand Prix Series. So, with that being said, let's wind this down a little bit. If you guys would like to become part of the Dega Boys channel, you can do that. Go to our channel, hit the join button, become part of the boys. If you want to, look, there's plenty of different tiers. Pick one that suits best for you. Get some great opportunities. You can come out to a broadcast with us, a podcast. Even if you get the Ultimate Die Hard package, you could get some free merch. Ask Josh Kreider. I actually just sent his stuff. I hope he likes it. He's got to send us some pictures. Josh Kreider, if you're watching this, I'm gonna be checking up with you here in a second. But there's lots of tiers there. Make sure you guys, show some support for your favorite broadcasters, your favorite podcasters, and show out with some Dega Boys swag. So, also go check out our store with all of our merch. Jay's wearing one of those hats, Big Daddy IMSA, as you can see. There it is, right there, baby. Look, we got great merch on our store. Lots of different options, so go out there, check that. All the proceeds going through the memberships, going through the merch, it goes right back into our channel to help create better content for you guys. So, look, go ahead and follow all of our socials too. We've got TikTok, Facebook, X, Discord. Our Discord channel's freaking phenomenal, if I must say so myself. Get caught up on all of the racing news of today. Don't be late. Be part of the Dega Boys Discord channel and be caught up with all the motorsports news. I'm actually going to hand it off to Jay here now. Jay, why don't we talk a little bit about our podcast side, our watch party coming up as well.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited to come on here tomorrow into the podcast. Oh man, I think this is in store to be one of the greatest podcasts of all time. I mean, there's so much to talk about. I mean, I said it last night, one of the greatest race weekends in recent memory. I mean, wow, unbelievable. I can't wait to talk to you guys about that. The Cup race at Bristol, as well as 12 hours of Sebring. We'll cover all that for you. We'll preview the races this weekend, and one of those races is our watch party race. If you love what you saw here tonight, you love some good old IndyCar strategy racing. Well, we might not get a lot of strategy racing. It's going to be an all-star event. Watch party here at Thermal Club, put the race on one screen, put the Dega boys on the other, and come watch the race with us as if you were right next to us on the couch. Be off the cuff a little bit, hanging out, talking about some IndyCar racing. The format is crazy. I can't wait to talk about that with you guys here tomorrow. I'm stoked for it. I'm ready. I think this is our first IndyCar watch party, Tom. I'm so ready for it.
Yeah.
Sunday can't get here soon enough. I'm so ready for this Thermal Club $1 Million Challenge. Oh man.
Yes, very exciting. I'm so excited too. I mean, I'm just getting jitters about it. You know what else I'm getting jitters about? Dega Games is under a month away, baby. Jay is going to be flying to Georgia here to come and hang out with the King of Camo and all the other Dega boys. Donovan, Jared, we're all going to be hanging out here. We're going to be doing some friendly competitions. We're going to be going to Talladega, where the boys originated. Oh, man, it's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. So, that's coming up too. Look, we got lots of cool stuff happening on this channel. Super excited to be able to share with you guys everything that's coming in the future. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out here, watched our stream, liked, commented, subscribed. It means so much to us. Just over 14,000 subscribers now. We started just a year and 15 days ago. And we're at 14,000 subscribers. Unbelievable. Thank you guys so much. We love every single one of you. Thank you to our channel members, Dallas Ewert, Josh Kreider, Steven Downton, Telltaps. Truly appreciate everybody who comes and is a part of our great group that we got going on here. Once again, this has been Thomas and Jay in the booth. The Dega Boys broadcasting here from Phillip Island. The Rumble Down Under with the Nexus Sim Racing crew. The Grand Prix series. And once again, another banger of a race. Again, Thomas and Jay in the booth. Thank you guys for coming out. Truly appreciate you. And we'll see y'all in the next one.